they say everything happens for a reason, right? My 2025, not the best start, because 2 days ago, I wasn't feeling too well. And I had a dream of jumping off a bridge. In the dream, I died naturally, right? But I was still conscious in my dream, except I was dead. Then I woke up. And when I woke up, I had an urge to do exactly what happened in my dream. And I was thinking about it. I was thinking about really just driving out and just taking a leap. And rationally, I knew I wasn't in the right mental space. So I went to take my medication. And if you haven't been keeping up with the Aku anime lore, I've been off my meds for like 2 months now because of this video specifically. I got screwed over by the healthcare system. So I take my meds, right? And my body is not liking it, bruh. I can tell my body is rejecting it. My thoughts did go away, but my body was shutting down on me because it's been so long since I last took them. So it's just not feeling it, right? My thoughts were kind of foggy. My head felt like it weighed twice as much, and I was extremely tired, despite the fact that I slept for a long time last night. I was fine. So during this downtime, I had another dream during my 12+ hour slumber, and I was driving with somebody. I don't remember who. It was a female though, and we went to Barnes and Nobles, and I was looking for specific books. And the girl I was with, she said, "What are you looking for?" And I said, and I don't know why I said this because it's not true. I said, "I'm looking for the machine." And she pointed me to the computer that was by the books. And I went over there, and it was on Chat GPT, and it had a paragraph talking about, quote, the machine. And at the bottom of the paragraph, there was a picture. And here's the picture, the best way I could, it's closely related to it at least. And if you don't know what this is from Plato, the Greek philosopher. This is called the allegory of the cave. In this allegory, Plato presents an idea that people will perceive shadows as their own reality due to their limited perspective. Even though the shadows and the sounds that these prisoners see are visually and objectively in front of them, it does not present the actuality of the real world. So in the dream, I didn't get any books. I saw it on the computer, right? I saw the picture on the computer and stuff. And I just remember just walking out of the store and asking the girl, "Yo, you want to get sushi?" Yeah, I know dreams are random, right? Of course. So we went to the sushi spot, and by the way, the Barnes and Nobles where I live by, there's no sushi spot. So I don't know how we just walked a few stores down. We were at the sushi spot. So I don't know what kind of Barnes and Nobles we're at, right? So you know, I somehow, when we're in the sushi place, I somehow had a Barnes and Nobles bag with me. And I pulled the bag out of it. I pulled the book out of the bag. Even though I said in my dream I didn't buy any books, but I somehow had one. And the book, it had no title, but it was a picture of a snake-like being in front of a sun. And it had a star and moon beside it. For the people who know what I'm describing here, this is described as the demiurge. If you don't know what this is, I put a picture on the screen right now. This is an entity in Gnosticism, which is more of a spiritual and I guess alternative branch of Christianity, where this creature is a malicious creator deity that crafted and created our flawed material world, where this entity, the demiurge, basically traps our souls within the existence of the material plane. Basically, in Gnosticism, this deity created our existence and traps our souls in it. We never truly die. This material world is a prison. It mixes with Christianity because Jesus Christ was apparently the one who was supposed to save us from this prison. And he was a savior figure who wanted to guide us and reveal the truth towards spiritual freedom. So we can end up not being stuck in this material world made by the demiurge, right? And it goes down a deeper rabbit hole. If you guys want a full video on it, let me know down below. I'm digressing from the main point here because we're about to go down a whole other schizophrenic idea that I got or was inspired from this dream. So after I saw the book and I saw the title, there was no title. I saw the cover rather. I was confused. You know what I'm saying? I was confused in the dream. And like, I didn't even care I had the book. I was concerned about how much it cost me to get this book. So I took out my phone in my dream and to view my Chime account to see how much I spent on the book, right? And for some reason, my phone was already unlocked and it was on the Chat GPT app. And it had a question. How much did this book cost? And there was a picture attached of the cover of the book. Somehow my phone was already unlocked. It already looked up how much the book cost on ChatGPT. It wasn't me. And the answer was very weird to me because it was already answered for me. It was a description of God, and multiple Bible verses citing these descriptions of God's face specifically. Now, eventually I woke up. I felt very groggy still, right? And, weird dream, right? Dreams are not really supposed to make sense like that. And I just, I usually brush off stuff like that. So, but I was laying in bed though, just thinking about everything. And I started to cry a little bit because something hurt me. For the past few months, I've been pretty happy for the most part, right? But randomly, I'm blindsided. And I'm thinking about jumping off a bridge. And I feel depressed. Like, bad things happened to me the past 2 months too, but nothing knocked me down like this. What just happened? You know what I mean? And I was thinking about the allegory of the cave, that specific picture. And I was thinking about the dream a little bit more with that. It's funny because when I jumped off the bridge in the first dream and then I died, but I was still conscious, it made me think, this existence or material world, it's actually kind of counterintuitive to our mind. What do I mean by this? My brain, your brain, everyone's brain, we perceive the world only in a reality that can best be viewed from the mind. We all know what time is, right? We all know what matter is about space, right? A lot of things related to chemistry and physics in this existence is something very advanced. However, our brain does not consider this through an everyday situation. For example, everyone watching this video, let's say there's a cup right in front of you, right? A cup filled with water. Okay, follow me here. So this cup filled with water in front of you, you perceive it as simply what it is, right? A cup with water. But technically, it's not just a cup. It's a structure of atoms governed by invisible rules such as gravity, electromagnetism, and quantum forces. To you, this cup simply looks like a solid and simple cup, but in reality, it's a deeply multi-leveled object performing interactions that scale far beyond our ordinary perception. The hidden complexities of our reality shape our experience. Now, Aku, what does this have to do with the bridge and dying? Well, even though in the dream I died, I was still conscious. This made me think about the consciousness that we all have exists independently. Like the dream, reality might be similar. Whoever's watching this video, where do you think we go after you die? Do you believe in an afterlife? Do you think the lights just turn off and that's it? Do you believe in reincarnation? I don't know, anything. Whatever you believe in. What if death is only something that exists, or only something in our existence? Because like that cup of water example, the hidden complexities of our consciousness after we die cannot be understood. Therefore, we create the idea of an afterlife. We start talking about reincarnation. We talk about ghosts and spirits. Oh, they died and they're a ghost now. Or, oh, they died, they're in heaven now. We create these, which all of these things are not proven to be objectively and scientifically factual, right? We just made up these ideas of the afterlife and so forth or whatever because we don't really know what happens to our consciousness after we die to cope, since it's such a deep hidden complexity of this reality. That's what I'm trying to say if I'm being a little bit too complicated. It's interesting that in the next dream I had, the demiurge pops up, right? Because again, in Gnosticism, we believe that this material world extends to death, where when you die, your soul is trapped in there. And malicious beings continue to feed off of the suffering that goes on in this world. Rather, they put your soul right back into it so you can be reborn to this earth and suffer and be fed off of, right? And that's what Gnosticism believes, right? But this is what's interesting about such an idea. In Gnosticism and in many spiritual belief systems, and some of y'all may agree with this, they believe the consciousness is capable of existing beyond the confines of this material world or illusion. Do you agree with that? The consciousness confines or exists beyond this material world? What rather, some people believe consciousness is responsible for its own liberation or freedom, right? But you see, this world and material illusion that we're in, where we only see things from our perspective. There's a saying by Albert Einstein that goes, reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. So, like the allegory of the cave by Plato, Albert Einstein is alluding that the hidden mechanisms and the rules of this universe that we don't see is so simplified to the point of an illusion. They're not saying that nothing in this world is real, but a lot of it's not that black and white. Now hear me out, because this emphasizes Albert Einstein's quote. The consciousness might be something that exists outside of these rules. The consciousness might just be something that simply observes and interacts with things in this dream or game that we live in. The brain is just a translator, as it tries to translate it to the best of our ability for our human and material self to comprehend. Life is just an illusion that the biological material brain paints in its own reality so we can perceive it. Make sense? Now, or are you following me at least? Now, about ChatGPT and AI in general. It's interesting that some people feel like this existence is an advanced intellectual system, which I think it is, right? This existence is advanced, intelligent, and complex, right? However, some people feel it's so precise that it's as precise as a computer can be. Is that a wrong statement? Everything in our existence, from the most minimalistic compounds, such as atoms, have instructions. You know, a jellyfish has no brain or traditional neurons, but simply possesses a nerve net that allows it to sense the environment and respond by knowingly eating the microorganisms in the water, that if other creatures such as ourselves consume those organisms that the jellyfish is supposed to eat, we would die. Like cells in our body, our cells know what to do based on genetic and biochemical instructions encoded in the DNA. It's like everything has instructions. It's programmed a certain way. Now, who created such a system? You can say God. I wouldn't even be mad at you if you did, right? However, in theory, would this programming or preciseness of our intelligent existence and the instructions that come with it, would you be opposed to say the creator, like God, for example, could be something of a machine that governs the rules and programming complexities of this existence? It's funny that the demiurge gets brought up here. If you know about Gnosticism, the demiurge acts very similar to what I just said. This being who allegedly created the material world simply operates in a very mechanical and predictable way, enforcing the laws of the material world. It's almost like this deity is a computer in itself. And you know, this brings me to my final point. What is really stopping human beings from creating a God in itself? If AI works in a very mechanical and predictable way, whilst following a programmed rule set, once it gets advanced enough, wouldn't we be technically creating a God in a sense? Like the demiurge, a God without true divinity, just a powerful existence that is pre-programmed. And it's funny, even Gnostics don't think the demiurge is a true divine being because it lacks the ability to give spiritual insight and liberation. It lacks a spiritual essence, the love that is associated with true divinity. AI is very similar. Even if they made it very advanced, AI is mechanical in nature. I feel like once we hit a stage where AI is super intelligent and passes through many different roadblocks, and it starts to learn how to outsmart human intelligence, control large amounts of data, manipulate biological life, and acquire the ability to do things that are attributed to deities in the past? Because the AI, some of these deities in the past, if you know your theology, once the AI could learn some of these stuff, you know what I'm saying? We might have literally created a god. And I don't think we really recognize that we are, if the AI gets too good, we are technically creating a god within our hands, a deity per se. And listen, we'll see what happens when we go down that roadblock. I mean, what do you think about that? The concept of AI being a god. What do you think about the whole consciousness concept as well? You guys want a video on Gnosticism? If I make a video on Gnosticism, it might be like 30 minutes long or something, because it's all over the place. But hey, anyway, this episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. Times Square.
Nightmare 7 a.m. in the morning though. No surprise. Times Square's you and I under those lights. No disguise. Don't tell me everything you wanted was a lie. All those city lights, it's an endless night. Never expected you to bring me so much life. Close my eyes too long, then it's time to say goodbye. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Caution. Wait a moment, keep my heart locked away, it's filled with emotion. Gave the key to you, right in front of you is open. Hey, try your best to not leave it broken. Oh, it's been a while since you know it's frozen.